They called them the Iron Monks, warriors who could shatter bricks with their bare hands, stand motionless for hours in the freezing mountain air, and move with the fluid precision of water flowing around stone. For over 15 centuries, the Shaolin Temple has produced fighters whose physical capabilities defied human limits. But their strength wasn't built through modern equipment or protein shakes. It was forged through 5 ancient practices that transformed ordinary men into living weapons. Today, I'll reveal these forgotten methods that can unlock superhuman strength in anyone willing to embrace the discipline of legends. When you first enter the Shaolin Temple as a novice monk, you face a harsh reality. Your body is weak, your mind is scattered, your spirit is untested. The masters don't coddle new students with gentle stretches or light calisthenics. Instead, they introduce you to your first teacher, suffering. The horse stance becomes your constant companion, a position so brutal that grown men have collapsed within minutes, their legs trembling like leaves in a storm. You sink low, thighs parallel to the earth, spine straight as a sword, and you hold. 1 minute becomes 5. 5 becomes 30. Eventually, the strongest disciples can maintain this posture for over an hour without flinching. Modern science has finally caught up to what Shaolin masters knew centuries ago. When you force your body into extended isometric holds, something remarkable happens at the cellular level. Your tendons don't just get stronger, they become denser, more resilient, like cables forged from steel. The collagen fibers realign themselves, creating a structural foundation that can withstand tremendous force. Your nervous system adapts too, learning to fire muscle fibers more efficiently, maintaining power without the usual fatigue that breaks lesser warriors. Start with 60 seconds. When that becomes easy, double it. When 2 minutes feels comfortable, push toward 5. The monks who can hold horse stance for an hour aren't superhuman, they're simply willing to embrace discomfort that others refuse to endure. The next test comes through your fingertips. While most people think of fingers as delicate, almost fragile parts of the body, Shaolin monks transform them into instruments of devastating power. They begin with an exercise that seems impossible to outsiders: fingertip push-ups. Imagine balancing your entire body weight on nothing but the tips of your fingers, then lowering yourself toward the ground with perfect control. The first attempt is humbling. Your fingers feel like they might snap. Your wrists scream in protest, your forearms burn with unfamiliar fire. Yet, through this seemingly impossible exercise, something extraordinary develops. The intrinsic muscles of your hands, those tiny fibers most people never consciously engage, become incredibly strong. Your tendons thicken and densify. Your nervous system learns to channel force through the smallest contact points with laser precision. Research shows that this type of training doesn't just build finger strength, it actually enhances your brain's ability to activate force rapidly through your extremities. Every punch becomes more explosive, every grip becomes unbreakable. Start from your knees if you must, but focus on perfect form over quantity. 3 clean repetitions with flawless technique will serve you better than 30 sloppy attempts. Balance separates true warriors from mere fighters. In combat, the moment you lose your center, you've already lost the battle. Shaolin monks understand this principle so deeply that they spend years perfecting their equilibrium through the crane stance. Standing on one leg might sound simple, but when you raise your opposite knee until it's parallel to the ground and hold that position without wavering, you discover muscles you never knew existed. Your ankle becomes a pillar of stability, your hip flexors learn to fire in perfect coordination with your core, your entire nervous system recalibrates itself to maintain perfect balance under stress. Scientists call this proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position in space and make instantaneous corrections. When you train single-leg holds consistently, you're not just building strength, you're upgrading your internal GPS system. Your reflexes become faster, your coordination improves dramatically. Most importantly, you develop the kind of unshakable stability that allows you to generate power from any position, even when off balance or under attack. Begin with 30 seconds per leg. When you can hold each side for 2 full minutes without wobbling, you'll understand why ancient warriors valued this training above all others. The fourth secret of Shaolin power lies in learning to transition seamlessly between positions while maintaining total control. The plank to squat movement embodies this principle perfectly. You begin in a perfect plank position, every muscle engaged, your body rigid as a steel beam. Then, without lifting your hands from the ground, you explosively drive your feet forward into a deep squat, chest proud, core tight. The movement looks fluid, almost effortless, but it demands incredible coordination between your entire muscular system. This dynamic isometric training forces your large muscle groups to communicate with your stabilizers in ways that isolated exercises never can. Your shoulders must remain stable while your hips generate power. Your core must maintain tension while your legs explode into motion. Your nervous system learns to coordinate complex movement patterns under load, building the kind of functional strength that translates directly to real-world power. Practice this transition slowly at first, focusing on perfect form over speed. 5 to 8 repetitions performed with absolute precision will transform your body's ability to generate and control force through complex movements. The final test pushes endurance beyond normal limits. Anyone can walk. Anyone can hold a squat for a few seconds. But can you combine both while never allowing your position to deteriorate? The horse walk forces you to maintain the brutal hip position of the horse stance while taking slow, controlled steps forward. Your thighs burn like molten metal, your lungs scream for more oxygen, your mind begs you to stand up and escape the suffering. This is where ordinary people quit and where warriors are born. The physiological demands of this exercise are staggering. You're forcing deep muscle fibers to activate continuously while your body moves through space. Your stabilizer muscles must work overtime to maintain perfect posture under extreme fatigue. Your nervous system learns to sustain flawless control even when your body is pushed to its breaking point. Research confirms that this type of loaded locomotion creates adaptations that static holds alone cannot achieve. Start with 5 steps. When that becomes manageable, push toward 10, then 20. The monks who can horse walk for hundreds of steps aren't genetically superior. They've simply refused to quit when their bodies demanded surrender. These 5 practices aren't just exercises, they're a complete system for forging unbreakable human strength. The horse stance builds your foundation. Fingertip push-ups develop precision power. Crane stance perfects your balance. Plank to squat creates flowing strength. Horse walking pushes your endurance beyond normal limits. Together they transform not just your body, but your mind and spirit. You learn that most limitations exist only in your head. You discover that human potential extends far beyond what you previously believed possible. The path isn't easy. There will be days when your muscles rebel, when your mind tells you to choose comfort over growth, when quitting seems like the only rational option. This is when you remember the iron monks who came before you. They faced the same doubts, the same pain, the same temptation to surrender. The only difference between them and everyone else was their willingness to continue when continuing seemed impossible. Your strength isn't just physical, it's forged in the furnace of disciplined persistence. Start today. Choose one exercise and commit to mastering it completely before moving to the next. Document your progress. Celebrate small victories. Most importantly, remember that every second of discomfort is an investment in becoming the strongest version of yourself. The ancient secrets of Shaolin aren't really secrets at all. They're simply truths that most people aren't willing to embrace. The question isn't whether these methods work. The question is whether you're ready to do what it takes to unlock the warrior strength that already exists within you.